Hello there, welcome to Minecraft 1.18.8 Create! Today we're going to go over power generation. There are three methods of power generation, four if you include a little obscure one, but today we're only going to cover two. But first, a couple of blocks. Water wheels draw force from adjacent water currents. The more faces are powered, the faster the water wheel will turn. The wheel's blades should be oriented against the flow. Facing the opposite way, they will not be as effective. Windmill bearings attached to the block in front of them. If enough sail-like blocks are attached to the block, it can act as a sail. Activated with right-click, the windmill bearing will start providing rotational power. The amount of sail blocks determine its rotational speed. Use a wrench to configure its rotational direction. Sails are handy blocks to create windmills with. They will attach to blocks and each other without the need of superglue or chassis block. Right-click with a die to paint them. Right-click with shears to turn them into frames. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple examples of power generation here. Right here, we have a water wheel little generator. We got a set of stairs here that are waterlogged, and they're put in such a way so that the water flows out over these water wheels here. Right here, we have four of them. If we take a look over here, we have a speedometer and a stress meter. The wheels will rotate at about 16 rotations per minute. And for four wheels, we get just a little shy of 1,000 stress units. Pretty useful for machinery. Next up, we have our windmill. Here, as you can see, we have our windmill block, which we can activate or deactivate. This one here has about 8 sails attached to it. Further along, you'll see that we increase the numbers. This first one here, though, it's only going at 1 rotation per minute, and it has a total capacity of about 512. Much slower and far less stress potential than our water wheel generator here. But those 8 sails, what if we double them? So if we look over here, we did exactly that. This one has 16 sails. We've managed to double the RPM and double the amount of stress units it has. This is a pattern that ends up following. Every 8 sails on there will increase your speed by 1 RPM and by 512 stress capacity. So how many do we need to reach the same rotational speed as the water wheels there? Well, we end up needing about 124, which, as we see here, this leads us to 16 RPM, but the total stress units of over 8,000. Now this here, if we're to take a look at the surface area that you need to save out for it, it's a 7 by 7 area. That is 49 blocks. Whereas over here, this generator is only a 5 by 5 for a square area. But of course, verticality can be important. If you build the windmill on the top of your build, you don't need to worry about the vertical space. But if you're building inside or underground, then you do need to worry a little bit. In this example here, I have a little silo that I put together. It's a good way to go ahead and hide your windmills and make your base look a little more fancy. If we come right on in here, it's the exact same windmill as before, twisting and turning, all hidden inside within this stone block and wood shell. Thank you very much for joining me. That was Minecraft Create Rotational Power.
subscribe.